Can I hug you? Well, hello. Before we start this video, I want to tell you guys thank you for all the love and support that you guys have been giving my videos. And I am going freaking insane every time I see that, like, a bunch of people just randomly like, hey, I found your video. Your video's funny and stuff. It is like, it is so overwhelming. With all that being said, I am a little overwhelmed today, but not because of that. I'm so excited. Welcome to the family. Go ahead, sit down, grab your snacks and stuff because we're about to get into something real good. I have the beginnings of a headache. I took medicine before you guys be like, oh, you need to take care of yourself and stuff. Listen, I took some medicine. I relaxed. I did my deep breathing and stuff. I did my stretches. And I was also recommended a heavy blanket, weighted blanket, heavy blanket, Lord, a weighted blanket for my anxiety. So everyone that has been recommending things for me to do for my anxiety, thank you. Things that help you, that may potentially help me, or someone might be in my comment section and something down there might help them. I'm gonna stop talking and rambling. You guys know when my anxiety's high, I ramble. But it would mean the world to me if you like, comment, and subscribe. With all that being said, let's get started with the Fallen Devotion. This game contains mature content and is intended for audience 18. Okay, y'all saw it. Y'all saw it? Yes, I'm 18 and older. Let's go. Let's get into this immediately. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let me make sure that sound isn't up in y'all ear. Yes, it is. I did turn it down a little bit, but I don't want to turn it down. I'm going to turn it down in the game. I'll turn it down in game. Oh my God, that's loud. Yeah, let's not blow everybody's ears out today. Again, when the game acts up, I have to, it starts over and it resets everything. So I have to fix it. What is your name? It is Voyia. What pronouns do you use? I love games that ask this. My pronouns are she, her. It makes you feel included. Thank you for downloading this game, Voyia. Please make sure you've read the warnings listed on the each.io page before proceeding. Okay. I read them, but again, this was already stated that it was made for mature people. So again, if you gonna play this game, if you're reading this and stuff, you know you're not 18, you shouldn't be reading this or watching me read it. Get off the game immediately. I hope you have fun and enjoy the story. Hope in reality is the worst of all evils because it prolongs the torments of men. An interesting concept. Grief isn't something you can overturn. No matter how fast you try to move, it'll always catch up with you. And yet, I keep running from the shadows of my own mistakes, from the choices I could have made. We're getting deep already. I'm sorry. Is this game telling me I have lives? I've got 3? I don't think I'm gonna last, y'all. The same scene replayed in my mind like a broken record. No matter how much time passes, it refuses to fade. It's sharper than it has any right to be, like an old wound reopening without a warning. The rooftop of the high school, so much larger than I remember, it stretched out under the expanse of the endless sky. Back then, it felt like the world stretched out forever. It was the last days of summer break. The air clung to my skin, heavy with the smell of rain. The clouds rolled slowly, the silent witness to a promise I barely understood at the time. In a way, they almost mirrored the dread coiling in my chest. Clive was already there when I arrived, leaning against the edge like he belonged to that spot. The faint breeze tugged at strands of his purplish black hair. Okay, well, hopefully we get to meet Clyde. I mean, we'll get to see Clyde at least. plastered against his neck from the damp air. Usually, he would have greeted me by now, maybe with his usual grin, maybe a stupid joke, but that day, he just stood there in silence. I hesitated, watching him from a distance. There was something off about him, like a light dimmed from within. He looked smaller somehow. Oh no, is Clive about to do what I think he's about to do? Look, I thought it was just going to be about hot guys. I didn't think it was going to be that deep. Like when they said 18 plus, I was assuming. Y'all know what I was thinking because y'all was thinking it too. But I didn't think it was going to be like what I think is about to happen. I forced myself to step forward. My voice cracked through the humid air. Clive, it's starting to rain. What are you still doing here? He didn't answer right away. When he turned to me, his expression knocked the air out of my lungs. His eyes, usually full of life, were distant, hollow, like he wasn't even seeing me. Okay, well, there he is. He does look sad. He's cute, but he does look sad. It relaxes me, he said, his voice lower than I've ever heard. Helps me think. There was something wrong. This wasn't him. This wasn't the Clive I knew. The guy who couldn't sit still for more than 5 seconds, who filled every silence with laughter and nonsense to keep the world at bay. Clive, what's wrong? I asked, my own voice sounding so small. He exhaled. His gaze drifted back to the horizon. Do you ever feel like everything is about to change? And no matter what you do, you can't stop it? Sorry, I hope y'all didn't hear my phone. I was trying to turn it off before it started ringing. His words hit me like a bullet to my chest. He wasn't just asking about summer break. There was something deeper, something heavier, and I don't know how to answer. I stayed quiet. What could I say? Clive wasn't just my best friend. He was almost a part of me. My shadow. This is so sad. We all have that one friend, or some of us do. I didn't have friends in high school and stuff, and even as an adult, the people that I called my friends, as you can see, they're not here. I do still hang out with a lot of people that I've met over the course of my adult years and stuff, but I haven't hung out with them in a while. But that's just because I have stuff going on or whatever, not because of them. But I'm 100% for sure I can go hang out with them again and everything will be normal. But anyways, some people don't have friends and stuff, but when you have this type of friendship where somebody just feels like they belong in your life, and then something like this happens, it kind of makes you sad to think about, like, wow, I'm about to lose my friend, or wow, I feel bad for my friend. This is so sad to me. Always there, always solid. Seeing him like this, it was like watching the beginning of a storm about to tear through something unshakable. Of course not. Things will be fine. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Don't shut your friend down, okay? Ask him what he means. I don't know. I just have this feeling like we'll grow apart after this summer. His hands fidget at his side, fingers curling and uncurling like he was searching for something to hold on to. Just so y'all know, I'm a hugger. I love to hug. I hug my friends. They hate it. A lot of my friends are not. I don't know how somehow I make friends with the most unloving people in the world. I'd be like, I love you. And they'd be like, yeah, shut up. But maybe that's just my nature. My family's like that. Like I tell my brothers and them all the time, like, I love you. And they'd be like, you're a loser. Don't talk to me. But yeah, tell your friend you love them. Dang it. Tell your family you love them. You never know. Hold their hand. This would be me like, oh, Clive, it's okay. Forget it. I'm just being stupid. I didn't know what to say again. Didn't know how to bridge the gap that suddenly felt so huge between us. So instead, I pulled the small present I'd been holding on to It was a silver guardian bell, tiny but meaningful. I've been planning to give it to him later, but seeing him like this, I couldn't wait. I've been thinking about buying it for him for months, ever since his 18th birthday, when he wouldn't shut up about his new bike and license. Oh, it's cute. I think it's cute. YSM? What does that mean? Because my brain jumped to like 5 different things, but I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. For your bike, to keep you safe on the road, since you love acting like you have 9 lives. I hold it out to him, and the moment he realized what it was, his entire face lit up. I was supposed to give it to you later, but hope it cheers you up. Oh, Clive, look at him. He's so cute. For a moment, he looked like a puppy with a new toy. His face softened despite the tears that threatened to spill at any moment. Frick. I was trying not to cry, then you. His hands trembled as he held the bell close, his expression shifting from shock to pure joy. Oh, you didn't have to, but I'll keep it with me. Sorry, it's all together and my words already jumbled like this. And treasure it like it's my child. This is better than that. Okay. Words tumbling out of him so fast that they were almost incoherent. His voice cracked halfway through, and he wiped his eyes with the back of his hands. Clive, calm down. Oh, like I'm a crier too. Like y'all can't do this to. I'll cry with him. He took a small breath, holding the bell like it was the most precious thing in the world. It's just, I thought you got tired of me, but this, it means. He trailed off, looking up at me with a vulnerability that made my heart ache. Of course you're madder to me, silly. He paused, taking a deep breath, his face flushed with emotion. Do you promise not to leave me then? His voice was quieter now, and the question hung in the air between us. He looked like he wanted to say something more but couldn't. His fingers brushed against the bell with a hint of hesitation again, as if he was afraid it might disappear. It sounds like the character, Clive, is going through depression. It's so sad. We all got stuff we're going through right now. Hopefully this gets hotter, and y'all know what I'm talking about. I have no idea what's making you overthink so much, but I promise I'm not going anywhere. His smile returned, softer this time, but there was something behind it. I didn't know it then, but that promise would haunt me. Uh-oh. I didn't know how much he needed to hear it or how much I'd regret breaking it. Uh-oh. He smiled at me, a glimmer of hope in his tired eyes. I couldn't help but feel the weight of the promise settle heavily in my chest, even though I smiled back at him. Oh my God, what is that sound? My thoughts were cut off as a strange static sound filled the air, growing louder with each pressing second. My eyes darted around, searching desperately for Clive. Oh goodness, did he disappear or something? He was nowhere to be seen, as if he had never been there in the first place. What is happening? This is not supposed to be a scary game. I thought this was going to be hot. This is scary. The sky darkened, turning an angry shade of red. The static roared in my ears, drowning out my thoughts and my screams. I gripped the railing, trying to steady myself as the sound grew louder, making my head throb with pain. What is... am I in a glitch or something? Then his voice cut through it all. Don't you think you're forgetting something? I froze. My heart dropped. Clive? Is it... he's dead? He's been dead for 3 years. Oh no, it's too late now. Clive! Wait, is it Clive? You filthy liar. I'm not moving it either. Liar. It's doing it on its own, so I'm letting it kind of do it. Liar. Who is saying this to me? Liar! I am so scared. He only had you, yet you betrayed him. If only you answered your phone. Didn't read the rest of that part. It was a little more to that. Okay. I wake up with a jolt, chest heaving like I just ran a marathon. My heart slammed relentlessly against my ribs. If it beats any harder, it might as well just burst out free. Dragging a shaky hand against my chest, I press against it, hoping it might steady it a bit. Am I checking if I'm alive, or just forcing my heart to stay put? As my vision adjusts, the familiar outlines of my room slowly come into focus. The glow of the street lamp filtered through the curtains. My desk chair buried under the pile of clothes I swore I'd deal with last week. Everything is exactly how I left it. Normal. Safe. I let out a sigh of relief. Just another nightmare. The same one that's been haunting me for weeks now. Yawning, I reach out towards the drawer next to me, fumbling in the dim light for the water bottle I always kept there just in case. As the cool plastic touches my lips, a faint glow catches my eye. Okay, so we were having maybe a flashback dream? That's kind of what it sounds like now. Okay. I'm a little worried about that, but I mean, it's not a bad thing, I guess. My phone, it lit up. For a moment, I just stared at it. Who in the right mind would text me at this hour? Not like I have much of a social life these days. Social anything, really. My social skills kind of got messed up after Clive. The thought stings more than it should. Probably Daryl. I muttered under my breath, my lips twisted into a humorous smile. He's my co-worker and the only one who ever texts me anymore. He practically dragged me out of my house after everything fell apart. Said work would be a healthy distraction, and annoyingly, he was right. But even Daryl wasn't insane enough to text me this early. I am not a morning person. I record in the morning. I have a bunch of energy in the morning, but that's because I get excited to do things for you guys, with you guys, commenting and talking to you guys in the comment section, making videos for you guys and stuff excites me. And so that's why you get that much energy in the morning time. But after I'm done recording, it's not like my energy goes away, but that excitement feeling is gone. And so I'm not excited. I'm not joking around and stuff. I'm just kind of like, bleh. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm awake. That's kind of how it happens for me. But I am not a morning person. You text me in the morning, someone better be dead. The house better be on fire. You need something from me. Like important, not, hey, I need to borrow a cup of sugar because I'll hang up in your face. But like, hey, my lights are finna get turned off. I need like $200. I got you. I'm be angry that you woke me up, but I got you. I am not a morning person. I need coffee every morning. I frown, the unease curling in my stomach as I reach for my phone. The message was brief, just a few words, but as I read them, the air seems to thicken around me, each syllable sinking in like claws digging into my flesh. Okay, remember your promise? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, so some random phone number just texts me. My stomach twists painfully, a chill racing down my spine. I lower the phone, hoping, praying that I misread it, but no, the message is still there. Do nothing, block the number. Personally, block the number. My thumb hovers over the screen, the notification glaring at me. I don't want to do this, but I can't keep ignoring it either. I swipe to block the number. My hand shakes, the motion sluggish, like my body's fighting against itself. It feels like the right thing to do. It has to be. Before I can exhale, another message pops up. Rude. Oh, I lost a heart. I just looked over. I lost a heart. My heart skips a beat. It's not supposed to do work like this. I blocked him. So how? Oh my God, I've been trying to stop y'all from hearing my phone, and now there's an airplane above me and my phone is going off, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff happening right now. I stare at the screen, my breath catching in my throat. Before I can even think of a reply, the message vanished. What the? I stare at the empty screen, my heart hammering in my ears. Maybe I'd imagine it. Is Clyde alive or dead? Like, I don't know. Now I'm scared. The lack of sleep could do that, right? I haven't been getting enough sleep these days. Just my tired brain playing tricks on me. Yeah, that has to be it. Shaking off the lingering unease, I swing my legs over to the side of the bed. Getting ready will help me clear my head. Excuse me. Nothing better than a shower to try to wash away all that negativity. I make my way to the bathroom, my feet dragging against the floor. The day has barely begun and I'm exhausted already. I know that feeling. The hot water seems to soothe away the tension in my muscles, but even as I step out, towel wrapped around me, the memories of that message still lingers. I rub the fogged mirror, my reflection staring back at me from behind the streaks. Tired eyes, eye bags. Someone who hasn't had a good night's sleep in months. I heard that some people like eye bags. I've had dark circles under my eyes for years, and I've always been insecure about it. And I was told that some guys like girls that have dark circles under their eyes. It's hot, and I'm like, where were they? They didn't live in any state that I ever lived in, and I travel from state to state to state to state to state. It would be easier to name the places I haven't lived. So where are these guys that like dark circles under eyes? And then I heard that in China, and you guys can correct me, in China they like baggy eyes. They like eye bags. I throw on my uniform with muscle memory alone. Just another day of playing human doormat for customers who think service equals servant. Can't wait. Okay, so maybe we can earn a heart back. I don't know. I don't know if this is like an earn a heart thing or we don't get a heart anymore. Stepping outside, the cool morning air brushes against my skin, waking me up enough to function. The world feels heavy. Sorry if I'm losing my voice. I do have a little mild cold, but I'm working on it. I haven't gotten a break at all, and my classes are starting in a week. As I walk towards the street, a piece of paper flutters by my shoes. It's crumbled, but the handwriting is unmistakable. Did this man say you blocked me, so now I gotta send you I miss you? Let's keep it. Maybe if we keep it, we'll get a heart. I kneel down, fingertips brushing the edge of the folded paper. I should throw it away, but I don't. Something about it nags at me, a quiet whisper in the back of my mind. Unease washes over me, but I shove the feeling aside. My mind is playing tricks again. If I keep this up, I'll genuinely start questioning reality. Did we get a heart? Oh, well, I mean, at least we kept it. We didn't go the wrong way, but I'm assuming that there's a good end and a bad end. I think there's 3 endings. I think that's what I read, but I've been reading about a lot of games today, so bear with me. I keep moving, the sound of my own footsteps grounding me as I reach the cafe. The streets are usually quiet till I see it, parked across the road. A motorcycle. She did say that Clive had a motorcycle. Is he here? A fireblade, Clive's fireblade. I don't know if it's the dreams, sleeping barely 3 hours at night, or... No, doesn't make sense. After the accident, it was unrecognizable. So his bike got destroyed. He might have gotten... Oh, he got into a car accident, maybe. My stomach twisted as I crouched, checking the shiny bell near the exhaust. Just to be sure. Oh my God. It's him. He's here. Same incisions. No freaking way. I'm going insane at this point. Is he in the cafe? I blink and it's gone. Shaking my head, I make it to the cafe. Clocking in felt like a small relief. For once, something normal to hold on to. But the unsettling feeling lingers. So he's like hunting me? Is that what this is? This is a ghost thing? Oh, this is making me uneasy. As I flip the sign from closed to open, the hum of the morning outside begins to seep in. A few regulars filter through the door, and soon enough, I'm caught in the rhythm of pouring lattes, calling out orders, and wiping down counters. The door in the back storage swings open, and Daryl walks in, struggling to balance a large cardboard box filled with decorations. He stopped mid-step when he sees me, his eyes widening. Okay, Daryl, you look cute too. Oh my goodness, Daryl's cute too. Look at his lips. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, stop. Oh, wow. He looks at me, his eyebrows shooting up. Not to be rude, but do you own a mirror? You look like the Grim Reaper. Ah! Daryl! I shoot him a flat look, turning back to wipe down the counter. Good morning to you too, Daryl. Let me guess. Same nightmare? I shrug, trying to avoid his gaze. What do you think? He sighs, shaking his head. That makes what, 5 nights this week? You sure it's not a sign? That's a good question, Daryl. I think it might be a sign. Or maybe I'm being hunted by the guy that I made a promise to that I broke my promise to. Maybe the universe or whatever is trying to tell you something. I snort. Yeah? Like what? Get some help? Thanks, I hadn't figured that one out. Daryl doesn't laugh. Instead, he narrows his eyes at me, and I can tell that he's about to say something obnoxious. Actually, he starts pausing. I think your boyfriend is a little pissed off at you. I stopped mid-swipe and glanced at him. Boyfriend? I don't have a boyfriend, sir. He grins, leaning closer, like he's about to reveal some secret. You know, the guy you never talk about anymore or visit, not even at his funeral? His voice takes on a half-serious tone. Honestly, if I were him, I'd start hunting your butt, maybe throwing objects at you if you ever bring someone home. I glare at him, even as my stomach knots. First of all, he was never my boyfriend, and second, I don't think ghosts work like that. Sure. He nods dramatically, clearly enjoying himself. But are you really sure? The two of you were practically joined at the hip before everything went down. You can't tell me you never thought about it. He's got a point. I mean, I would hunt somebody if they're like, I promise, Voyia, that I'll be a better person, and they're being a terrible person, and I can hunt you. Oh, you best believe. And I'm just gonna be running up to you like, like. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's what you're gonna get. Messing with me. I roll my eyes and start stacking the clean mugs. Clive's not my type. Uh-huh. So you're saying that you'll never, not even once, found him attractive? Now that's a lie. The moment I saw him, I thought he was a cutie pie. The question catches me off guard, and for a moment, I don't know how to answer. He doesn't let me, though. Because let me tell you, from the way you used to talk about him before, you started pretending he doesn't exist. You made him sound like Prince Charming. I only described how he was. That doesn't mean anything. Okay. So it's just a coincidence you look like you've been hit by a bus every time you have one of those nightmares about him. Totally unrelated. I glance at him, biting back a retort, but his smug expression makes it impossible. Instead, I sigh. You don't know what you're talking about. Maybe. He admits, still smirking. But I'm right about one thing. If you don't figure out whatever is going on in that sleep-deprived brain of yours, it's going to keep on messing with you. He's got a point right there, because, we don't know what's happening. You don't know what's happening. And again, this could be ghost-related, or maybe he's not really dead. We don't know. I'm scared. I'm losing my voice, y'all, so give me a second. Daryl adjusts the box in his hands, taking a step back towards the storage room. Well, I better go before our manager decides to fire both of us, you know, for the crime of having a conversation during work time. Oh, I can't stand jobs. See, this is why I want to be the biggest YouTuber out there so I don't have to work ever again. And it's not me saying like, oh, I just want the money. It's just I enjoy creating, and I would hate to get a job where I'm creating and I'm forced to create something that isn't something I want to create. His voice dips into sarcasm, but his gaze softens as he adds, seriously though, try not to obsess over it too much, alright? And if something weird happens, just call me. But don't expect me to come holding sage and holy water. I'm not exactly equipped for ghost busting. Oh, Daryl, you're my favorite person now. I can't help but laugh. Thanks, Daryl. I'll try not to summon any shadow people just to make you prove that. Yeah, let's not summon, shadow men to our house. He chuckles, shaking his head. Good. I'd rather not see you end up in some Exorcist sequel. Shifting the box in one arm, he shoots me a quick thumbs up with the other. Alright, I'm out. Don't overthink it, yeah? He heads towards the storage room. A faint sense of release settles in my chest. Talking to Daryl helped me feel a bit more sane. The hours fly by until the cafe slows down. I'm wiping down the tables when I hear a group of first-year university students, probably judging by their energy. Lovely. No, I'm serious, one of them says, leaning forward. Spirits manifest in dreams all the time. It's like a connection thing, soul ties or whatever. He continues. Oh, it's a guy. You're a guy with a feminine voice now. Soul ties, the other voice scoffed. You're so full of it. No, listen, the first guy insisted. It's like if someone has unresolved stuff, their spirit can latch on to someone they were close to. So is that what's happening to us? They show up in your dreams because it's easier to communicate there, and something I read about, or something, excuse me, I said and something, or something I read about. I freeze mid-step. The damp cloth clutches in my hand. Their words echo in my head, and for a second I forget to breathe. Unresolved? Close to someone? Dreams? The puzzle pieces I've been avoiding started snapping together in ways I don't like. By the time my shift ends, the idea is stuck deep into my mind like a splinter I can't pull out. What if he is stuck to us? The keys jingle in my hand and I stand in front of my apartment door trying to fit the right one into the lock. My fingers tremble, betraying the calm I'm trying to fake. After a couple of failed attempts, the lock finally gives way with a dull click. Finally! I muttered under my breath, shoving the door open with my shoulder. The bag slides off my arm and I land on the couch as I toss my shoes. My mind is racing, the words I overheard at the cafe striking up curiosity. I head straight to my room, shutting the door behind with a soft click. My laptop sits on the desk, staring back at me like it's just eager to spill answers as I am to find them. Don't go looking up spookies, ghost spirits, deep things, stuff, underworld stuff is the same as if, I have a headache. Let me search up headache in right ear. I mean, not headache, but headache in like right side. You will get everything that it is not related to, and then you would self-diagnose yourself and you will spiral. Do not do this. I need some more water. I'm telling y'all, this cold is kicking my butt. I drop onto the chair, pulling the laptop up with one hand while the other hovers over the keyboard. How do I even phrase this? Best way you possibly can. The search engine offers a flood of results. My eyes scan over the screen. Each click pulls me deeper into a rabbit hole of half-truths, myths, and coincidence. Then a laptop glitches violently out of a sudden, the screen tearing with bursts of neon colors. Oh God, I pause watching as the lines of text glitch and jitter. No, I whispered. Not now. The mouse freezes and the screen stutters again, lines of static running through it. My heart pounds as the browser crashes entirely. Frick! I slam my hands against the desk, anger bubbling over. Of all times to decide to die freaking now? The screen flares back to life, but it's not the browser this time. A single line of text appears. Always looking for answers anywhere else but me. My stomach drops. Again? My voice is barely audible. Will you let me in? I stare at the words. Each letter pulses like a heartbeat, taunting me. At this point, I think it's a yes. I'm going to save and say yes. Let's say yes. Why not? The choice feels impossibly heavy. My mind is screaming at me to shut the laptop and throw it out the window, but my fingers move almost on their own accord, typing yes before I can talk myself out of it. Worst feeling in the world. When your body's moving but your brain is saying no and your body's saying yes, it's the worst feeling. Even when it's a good thing, it's still the worst feeling because you just feel like you have no control. The moment I click enter, the room falls silent, unnaturally silent. Then the doorbell rings. I freeze. It rings again. My heart pounds as I stand, my legs feeling like jello. Each step towards the door feels heavier than the last. The door chimes a third time. Impatient, I finally reach the handle. I open the door. There he is. Is it? It's Clive. Oh my God. It's Clive. Wait, isn't he? Oh my God. I don't know how I feel about this. He's kind of hot. Like, no, yes, take me. No, don't take yes, take me. Clive? He's standing there. My mind immediately rejects what I am seeing. It's impossible. His body, what was left of it, was buried 3 years ago. And yet, here he is, standing on my doorstep. Voyia. His voice is the same, low and teasing, but there's an edge to it now, a weight it didn't carry before. Miss me? I stumble back, nearly tripping over my own feet. No, this isn't real. You're not real. You're not imagining things. I'm real. How? How is he real? He sighs as he steps into the house, arms still crossed. But a spirit? Really, Voyia? I'm a little offended. My throat feels tight, my words barely scraping out. I don't even know what to do. I'm so scared. I'm not crazy. No one said you were. He says smoothly, tilting his head. Just wrong assumption. Clive? I manage my voice cracking. Your face, your body, I saw you. I know. Trust me, I saw the whole thing. I feel dizzy, memories of that day rising back to the surface. Why are you here? His eyes lock onto mine, something unreadable flickering behind them. To show you the truth. The truth about what? My voice wavers, anger and fear bleeding together. You think you can just show up like this after all this time and the truth about them? He interrupts, his voice sharp. The people you call friends, the lies they told you, what happened the day of the accident. The words hit you like a punch to the gut, but anger flares in me, boiling and uncontrollable. No! I snap. You don't get to come back and play victim. You think I don't remember what you said about me? How you... His stoic expression disappears entirely, replaced by something raw, broken. You really think I'd do that to you? His voice lowers, thick with disbelief. You trust them over me? Them? After everything? I clench my fists, tears threatening to spill. They were my friends too, Clive. What am I supposed to do when everyone said the same thing? When I literally heard the recording? When you didn't even ask me? He cuts in, his voice cracking. You didn't even give me a chance to explain. You just freaking ignored me. His voice drops an octave at the last words. I swallow, trying to hold my eye contact, but the weight of it is unbearable. You don't get it, I whispered. I didn't know what to believe. They said so many things, and you didn't exactly make it easy to trust you. Clive's jaw tightened, his gaze piercing through me. I'm not supposed to justify it? What else could I do? You blocked me and acted as if I didn't exist every time I begged you to talk to me. Did I have any other options? You didn't even try, Voyia. You don't know what that did to me. Watching you laugh with them, hearing them talk about me like I was just some disgusting freak, and you... He cuts himself off, exhaling sharply, his composure cracking. My chest tightens, guilt rising its way up my throat. I thought I was protecting myself, I said, barely audible. I don't want to believe it, but I didn't want to be wrong either. I had no idea what to do. He shakes his head, his expression softened into something closer to sadness. You were supposed to trust me. After everything we've been through, you were supposed to believe me, not them. Tears sting at the corner of my eyes, but I blink them away, my voice rising in frustration. And what about you, huh? I tried. You think I didn't try? Would you have listened to me even if I had screamed the freaking truth at the top of my lungs? No. You decided I was guilty before I even opened my mouth. I tried to respect your boundaries. I waited and waited, but you never came back. I'm sorry, I whisper finally, the words feeling pitifully inadequate. Clive closed his eyes, exhaling slowly for a second time. It's not about the apology, Voyia. I'm not here to punish you. I'm not here to haunt you. You're all I have. I'm here because you need to know what really happened, what they were hiding from you, what they did to both of us. I'm not giving up till I get our bond back. Oh my God, he came back from the dead to fix our bond that he didn't even break. Is the air on again? Let me turn the air off, you guys. Give me a second. Okay, I turned the air off. He came back to fix our bond. I am so happy but sad. Oh, these friends would pay. These friends would pay so dearly. My stomach churns at his words, the implications making my knees weak. What are you talking about? Clive steps closer. His once vibrant eyes, now faded and colorless, search mine. You've been running towards danger, and you don't even know it. They lied to you, Voyia, about everything, and it cost me my life. Clive, I can't show you everything. He interrupts, his voice softening. Not yet, but I can give you enough to start. You deserve to know the truth, even if it hurts. I nod slowly, my chest tight with anticipation. You might regret asking for this, Voyia, but once I start, there's no going back. I need to know, I said firmly, though I'm basically dying with anxiety. He gave me a faint, humorless smile. Still stubborn as ever. Guess this is why I fell in love with you in the first place. Ah! Clive, why would you say that to me? No, you shouldn't have said that to me. You know how depressed I would be if I found out the guy, a hot guy like this, my best friend. He's not only my best friend, but he's hot. He's cute and everything. And he's in love with me. And he died. Depression. Depression forever. I will never love again. I will never love it unless they're this hot. They gotta be above a 10 because he's a 10 right now. I would never love again. Clive mumbles something under his breath as I watch him. His voice so quiet, it's almost drowned out by my thoughts alone. What? I narrow my eyes, raising an eyebrow at him. Nothing. This is a perfect... You're dead. What do you got to lose? He says quickly, brushing it off like it's not worth my time. He turns towards my room, his posture a little too casual. You should turn off your laptop, unless you want to pay one hell of a bill. I blinked. Right, because that's definitely my biggest concern right now. Not the hot guy that just showed back up in my life. I muttered, my voice laced with sarcasm. Still, I followed him because what else am I supposed to do? Soon, we're back in my room. I shut the laptop with a click, pretending like the mundane task is grounding me. Spoiler alert, it's not. Clive lingers behind me, unmoving. There's something too deliberate about the way he's standing. That makes me a little suspicious. Is he going to tell the truth? Maybe he's mad that he died and that I'm having friends and stuff. Maybe that's the case. But either way, I mean, we're gonna find out. Like he's waiting for a cue only he can hear. His eyes flickered towards me for a second, his gaze heavy and unreadable. Then, without word, he lifts his hands. At first, it's just empty air, but then a faint red glow sparks to life between his palms. Sorry, I was coughing. It flickers, but before I can make sense of it, the glow grows stronger, brighter, too bright. It floods the room, bathing everything in its surreal crimson light. What? My voice trails off as I squint against the brightness, shielding my eyes with one hand. Really, what's the point? Honestly, after everything I've been through these past few weeks, this doesn't even crack the top 10. My life's been through one hell of a fever dream lately. What's one more weird thing to add to that list? I mean, when you go through a lot, it's like, whatever, I don't even care. Like, oh my God, I went through this, and now aliens are walking out of the ocean. Who cares? All right? I don't even care anymore. I mean, sure, a weird red light filling my room, coming out of my supposedly dead ex-best friend's palms. Cool. Oh, look at him with this little red glow and his little snake bites. He is so cute. Clive glances at me, his expression tinged with guilt, his lips pressed together before he finally speaks, his voice back to its usual soft tone. Sorry if the light's too much. It won't last long, I promise. Just hold on a bit more, okay? You're doing so good. And he talked me through it. Clive, if I knew you liked me, we would have been dating. Hands down. The words hang in the air. There's something almost tender about the way he says that. It's like he's sad that he's doing what he's doing. Maybe he doesn't really want to hurt me, but he knows this is going to hurt me. But it's the kind of tenderness that comes wrapped in barbed wire. Like he's trying to soothe me while pulling strings I didn't know he held. I don't respond, mostly because I can't. The red light consumes everything, twisting the room into something unrecognizable. Nausea rise fast and sharp. No, no, no. Please, no. I send a light prayer to whatever cosmic force might be listening to spare me from some ultimate humiliation. Throwing up would take this moment from unsettling to flat out mortifying. That's your concern? Obviously, because I'd cry too. Special thanks to the antiphobia. I don't remember what that one is. I used to look up phobias and stuff because the fact that there is so much stuff that we could be scared of. There are people that are terrified of cotton balls and everything else. But I'm assuming because they're talking about just as an assumption, please look this up. Do not follow what I'm saying. That they're talking about throwing up, the fear of throwing up. A lot of people have that. Then, just as quickly as it started, the light disappears. Okay. The room is gone, or maybe I'm gone from it. Either way, I find myself standing in a long, washed out corridor that seemed to stretch endlessly in one direction. Doors lined the walls, their wrapped frames leaning at odd angles. Everything about this place feels wrong, like it was built in a rush by someone who didn't quite understand how reality works. This is it, Clive says, breaking the silence. His voice carries a strange mix of pride and apprehension. He gestures vaguely at the corridor. Sorry, my phone was ringing again. Memory lane. Memory lane, of course. I bite back the urge to say something snarky. Instead, I glance at him, my stomach twisted as I brace myself for whatever nightmare he's about to throw me into. I try to find the words, but Clive basically reads my mind. I'll explain it when we're back. We don't have much time. I am so scared of what he's going to show me. He says, his tone sharp and urgent, his gaze dark towards the corridor like he's afraid it might come alive and swallow us both. Stuck here. Great. Fantastic. Just what I needed to hear. I built this place. Oh. But I can't control what happens here. It's tied to my consciousness, so one intrusive thought and it's over. Just stick close to me and you'll be fine. So we're inside Clive's mind. Okay. Very reassuring. Thanks. I deadpan, crossing my arms. Clive ignores the sarcasm, already turning away. Let's go. For a moment, I hesitate. My brain tells me to turn around and find a way out of this mess. But then I trail after him, 'cause, let's be real, I don't actually have a better plan. The sound of my footsteps echo hollowly in the corridor, each step like a countdown to something I'm not ready to face, till the sound of crying stops me in my tracks. It's faint at first, barely audible, but it grows louder with every step, my head snapping towards the sound. Do you hear that? I ask, my voice a little too shaky for my liking. Clive doesn't stop. He doesn't even look back. His voice is flat, cold in a way that makes my chest tighten. Ignore it. I'll trust him this time. Freaking beaster. Clive mumbles something under his breath again, his words barely a whisper. Why do you keep on mumbling? I ask, sighing. It's nothing. Just don't lose focus. His voice is calm, but there's something fragile hidden in it. Easier said than done. I muttered, sighing as I try to push the sound away. The crying still lingers, but I force myself to take another step forward. Clive slows his pace, turning his face to me, his expression softened, even if the tension in his eyes doesn't ease. Here, he says, extending a hand towards me. Hold on to me, safer that way. There's something in his voice. Fear, maybe? I take his hand, his cold skin almost burning against mine, grounding me. Don't let go. He murmurs, his gaze shifting away as if he can't bear to meet my eyes. I wasn't planning to. I replied quietly, gripping his hand a little tighter. We walked in silence. I tried to focus on Clive's presence beside me. Crazy to say, but he managed to get even taller. His grip tightens, like he's afraid I'll slip away. Finally, we step in front of one of the doors. Clive doesn't speak at first. He just looks at me, his expression unreadable. It's as if he's searching for something. An answer, maybe? Or reassurance that I'm ready, I guess. Okay, so we're here where we need to be. And then, without a word, he pushes the door open. I'm so scared. Wait a second. Maybe I don't have nothing to be scared about. The room beyond is silent, vast and empty in a way that makes my stomach ache. The walls stretch too far. The air feels too still. Clive steps aside, his movements slow and deliberate. He glances at the floor, then back at me, hesitation flickering across his face. You'll need to close your eyes. He mumbles, his voice soft. Why? I'll tell you when you open them. That's how we enter the memories. I nod, my heart drumming loudly in my ears. It's going to start with our first meeting. He adds, shy smile tugging at the corners of my lips. Because, it's one of my favorite memories. Oh. The admission catches me off guard. There's something almost pure in the way that he says it, a quiet vulnerability that makes my stomach flutter. I close my eyes as he instructed, trying to ignore any second thought. Okay, here we go. All right, you can open them now, Clive says after a moment. When I do, the emptiness is gone, replaced by the vivid chaos of the playground. Children shout and laugh in the distance, but my focus snaps immediately to the boy sitting on the ground, gathering his scattered supplies with his small, trembling hands. Are you okay? My younger self's voice breaks through the memory, every word tinged with concern. The boy, Clive, looks up sharply, his cheeks flushing with embarrassment. Oh, look at little Clive. He's so cute. This is making me sad. Please, just leave. He speaks, his voice barely audible. If they see you with me, they'll just tease you too. I watch as the younger self folds her arms, stubborn. I don't care about them. I can beat them if they try anything. His eyes widen, startled by the confidence in her voice. They're just jealous. They don't know how cool you are. Clive looks away, his shoulders slumping. Cool? I'm a foster kid. I live in an educational community. Being friends with me isn't fun. I can't do most of the things you do. If I ever get to go out, I have to have educators following me everywhere. I'm no... And you're my friend. That doesn't change my opinion. I want to be as cool as you are. Younger me cuts him off firmly. And we're always going to be friends, no matter what. The conviction in her voice makes something in my chest ache. Clive blinks, his mouth opening to protest, but younger me doesn't stop. And I can't wait to have an artist friend someday. I love your drawings. No need to hide them behind your back. I saw them. Clive's eyes widen, and for the first time I noticed a shift. The dullness in his eyes fades, replaced by the brightness and prettiest shade of purple I've ever seen. Aww. Then I'll always be by your side. That's so cute. Oh, but why did we come back here? Now I'm really worried again. The playground blurs and fades around me until we're back in the empty room, the memories still lingering in my mind. How? Clive's voice breaks through the silence, soft but filled with hurt. How could you think I'd ever talk bad about you? He chuckles, but it's hollow. his pain bleeding through despite the smile on his face. I've basically been nothing but a loyal guard dog ever since then, devoted to you, waiting every weekend for you to visit me at the educational community, like you promised. You were all I had, you know. My throat tightens again, guilt coiling in my stomach like a vice. I am one of those people that had done some terrible things when I was younger. I followed a crowd. I was a little sheep, and not only was I a sheep, but I was a little dumb piggy that was scared of everybody around me. So anything people could tell me to do, I would probably do it out of fear alone. Peer pressure and whatever else you want to think of. Big stretch. So, there's been times where I've lost a lot of friends because I would make fun of people, because friends would tell me, friends, quote, friends, would tell me to make fun of people and do stuff, and I would do it. And then as I got older, I'm like, why do I feel so bad after doing it? Like, I feel like crap after this. And then, like, it came to the point where, like, it was, like, confusion to depression. Like, when I would do it, I would go home and I'd be, like, crying and stuff. Like, I hurt someone's feelings. And I did hurt people's feelings. So I got older and I realized how terrible of a person I was. Not was, like, because it was like I was terrible to everybody, but, like, they would talk about people behind their backs and stuff. And so they were like, isn't that right, Voyia? And out of fear of being judged and scared that I would never have friends again, I'd be like, yeah, that's right. And in reality, I didn't get to have friends because they weren't my friends. And they slowly stopped wanting to hang out with me. They was like, oh, she's just a sheep. She just follows and blah, 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 and all sort of stuff. And then I finally found myself and realized I'm not a terrible person, that I'm just misguided. And I started changing, and that made me more friendless. But it seems like the main character kind of fell into the peer pressure thing like I did. She just did it, like, I guess around high school and stuff. And that sucks. Mine's kind of happened in elementary, and as I got into middle school and stuff, it's faded away. But still, and in high school, I was just alone. So it's sad, but it happens to many people. You think, oh, like, you're such a bad person, it won't happen to me. But I mean, you'll never know. If you're in high school right now, you're saying this will never happen to you, or if you're in middle school or whatever, and you're saying this will never happen to you, I want you to look around at the kids around you and see how many of them are following like that, following their friends and stuff instead of being their own person. Every Friday, I'd stare at the clock like I could make time go faster, just so you'd show up immediately. Those visits kept me going. Clive continues, rubbing the back of his neck, his shy smile still there. But his tones shift, more serious now. That aside, I have to show you what we came here for. I can't show you everything today, but you deserve to know the truth. Before I could respond, the world around us shifted, the air changing as another memory begins to take shape. Okay? In a blink, I'm standing in the school cafeteria. The headache-inducing hum of the fluorescent lights fill the air, casting an unnatural glow on the familiar rows of the frozen tables. My breath catches in my throat when I see them, Mia and Silas, however you want to say it. It's been so long since I've seen them. It's like they've vanished after the accident, leaving nothing but whispers behind. They're standing near one of the tables, speaking in hushed tones. For a fleeting moment, I forget this is just a memory. I wanted to call out to them, ask where they've been, why they disappeared, but the words never came. They look like terrible people. That sounds so bad because that's judging a book by its cover, and you should never judge a book by its cover. You should judge it after you read the first 10 pages and then judge it. But both of them look like they've done bad things. Did you manage to get Voyia to trust you yet? Or at least her phone number? Mia groans audibly, rolling her eyes. How could I get close to her when Clive is glued to her side like I'm about to kidnap her? Don't worry. I know how to deal with him. I just need Voyia to let me take her home. Okay. Clive will lose it, confront me, and then I can force him. Once I have clean recording of his voice, I can clone it and make him say whatever I want. Calling him won't work. He never picks up. But this? He gestures with a satisfied grin. This will destroy him. Voyia is his only weak spot at the end. Oh God, look at that guy's face. You monster! A wave of nausea hits me. Disgust, anger, and betrayal. It all floods my mind at once, choking me. I want to scream, to punch them both, to do something. But I can't move. I'm trapped, a helpless observer as they reveal their true colors. Disgusting. Before I can catch my breath, the memory dissolves again. Standing outside my house, when I just moved out after leaving my parents' place, waiting to finish the last exam before graduation. Everything feels distant, like I'm watching through frosted glass. I am so scared what he's about to reveal. I see Clive, his posture tense, his hands balled into fists. God, why didn't you even try? Voyia, why didn't you even try? Look at him, he looks so good. God, he looks so good, why didn't you try? This is so bad. This is so bad, I'm so angry at you, Voyia. What the frick are you doing here? Clive's voice is sharp, cutting through the quiet of the streets. Silas glances at him, leaning casually against the gate, unimpressed. You've got balls saying that when you look like you just robbed a bank. It's with the disguise. Going full stalker mode. You give me the chills, dude. I'm not disguising myself. I just got off my bike, genius. He waves at his parked bike for emphasis. And even if I was following her, at least I have a reason. I've known her for years. What's your excuse? Sure, years of undying loyalty or obsessive clinging. I have no idea how Voyia puts up with you. Must be pity, 'cause you're a real pain in the butt. If following her is justified, I don't know what she'd think if I told her. Clive steps up, his voice dropping to a dangerous low. If you even think about telling Voyia anything, I'll make sure everyone knows. Sudden loud sound cuts him off. I can't hear the rest, but the way Silas' expression falters tells me Clive's words landed a hit. Jesus. That's what the buzzing is? It's like stopping us from knowing the truth. I really don't like it at all. Whatever. Guess I overstayed my welcome. Silas turns to leave, throwing a dismissive glance over his shoulder. That's right. Get out of here and don't come back, you terrible human being. Have fun playing bodyguard while you still can. Oh my goodness. Like, let me just see him again. Oh, God. He looks so good. I can't. I don't know what it is about two-toned colored hair for me with guys, but my God. You can get me real quick. Frustration bubbles inside me as Silas walks away. What did he say? The unanswered question claws at my patience. Silas' voice pulls me back. He's holding his phone now, a smug grin spreading across his face as he taps the screen. Poor beaster. His voice drops to a venomous whisper. You really don't know what's coming, do you? Even if you try to expose me, who's going to believe you? If they hear you saying certain things, they'll think you're just covering your own butt by pointing fingers at me. Oh, look at him. Look at him doing something terrible. Sorry, I'm grabbing something. Look, if horrible human being. Ugh. The memory shifts again. I'm standing in the library now. The smell of old paper and ink mingling with the heavy tension in the air. Silas is seated at the computer, his face illuminated by the glow of the screen. I hate him. He mutters under his breath, typing furiously. How can someone like him, a foster kid, get adopted by a rich piece of shite while I have to risk everything just to get by? So it's jealousy? You could have been friends with him. A creeping sense of unease spreads through me. What is he doing? What's he risking? The scene fractures, and a sharp, searing pain shoots through my chest. I stumble and the world spinning violently around me. No, no. Clive's voice trembles through the chaos. I have to warn her. Please, pick up, pick up. His desperation is palpable, every word laced with panic. Then there's the sound of a sharp crack, the sound of the phone smashing against a hard surface. Did you think threatening me would work? I'll leak your photos anyway, and the money I'll get, thanks to your lovely voyia, it'll go for a good cause. The roaring of the motorcycle engine cuts through the noise, followed by the gut-wrenching crash. The sound is deafening, violent, metal screeching scattered. Oh no, shattering, sorry. Oh my God, this is what happened. For a moment, everything goes silent, an unnatural and suffocating stillness. Voyia. 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 That hurt my throat. My eyes shoot open and I realize I'm standing in the middle of my room. My breaths are quick and uneven. The walls around me feel like they're closing in, space growing suffocating. Hey, it's okay. Clive steps forward, his voice soft but steady. His concern is evident from the way he watches me. I can't bring myself to meet his gaze. It's overwhelming. The guilt, the exhaustion, the fragments of memory I can't yet piece together. My legs threaten to give out beneath me for the 100th time today, but before they do, Clive reaches out, his hand hovering just near my arm, like he's afraid I'll flinch. You're having an anxiety attack. His voice is calm, even as his eyes betray the quiet panic he's trying to hide. Let's get through this together, yeah? He gently guides me to sit down, crouching so we're eye level. I can feel the warmth of his presence pulling me back from the void that threatens to pull me in. Breathe with me. His own breathing slows deliberately, and I try to match his pace. His voice is steady, soft yet firm, as he leans me through each breath. Him leading me through the breaths is going to help in the end, but it is not going to get rid of the fact that we just found out that 2 of our friends got Clive killed. Oh my God. You did amazing. Now let's try grounding. Look around. Tell me 5 things you can see. I hesitate, my mind racing too fast to focus, but his presence keeps me anchored. His eyes never leave mine, silent reassurance that I am not alone. The window, my desk, the lamp, my bed, you. Good. There's something in his tone, something tender, as if simple words mean more to him than they should. 3 things you can hear. I focus on the sounds around me, focus myself to listen. The window side, your voice, my heartbeat. He nods, encouraging me to keep going. As my mind starts to clear, the weight pressing on my chest lightens, and the air feels a little less suffocating. Even in death, he is still the best of friends. Now 4 things you can touch. Follow his instructions, reaching to the nearest objects, naming each one aloud. By the time I finish, my breaths are steadier, enough for me to think clearly again. Can I hug you? His voice wavers, quiet, almost shy. Yes! A light, a medium, a Oh, this is the skin thing. Oh, I did. It did say you can choose your own skin. The medium skin. I don't know. Let's go dark skin. Sure. I nod, unable to find the words. A hug sounds perfect right now. Oh, this is so cute. This is too cute. When his arms wrap around me, it's like everything else melts away. He holds me close, his touch firm yet careful, as if I might break. I can feel the tension in his body, the way he holds his breath like he's afraid of doing too much. For a moment, I let myself lean into him, letting his warmth chase away the lingering cold in my chest. This is so sad. I'm so sorry. I managed to whisper, still a bit out of breath from the earlier event. I feel so guilty for not giving you the chance to explain back then. Clive pulls away slightly, just enough to look at me. His hands linger on my arms, his thumbs brushing lightly against my skin. His expression is unreadable, like he's holding back something he can't say. What really happened? The accident? Silas? It's just... Clive shakes his head gently, his expression soft but firm. You've already seen enough today. It's a lot to digest, and you need to let your mind breathe. You must be exhausted from that anxiety attack alone. His voice is gentle, but there's a quiet authority in it. But I'll tell you everything when the time is right. The way he says it, so quiet, so certain, makes my protest die in my throat. His eyes hold mine for a moment longer. Right now, you need to rest. Sorry, I was about to cough. He steps back, giving me space. Now please get some rest. I'll visit you tomorrow at your job. I'll wear contacts and a concealer. Hopefully I won't look like an orange with it on. He offers a faint chuckle. Are you leaving? I ask, the ache in my chest growing heavier. You've been through enough for one night, and I need to take care of something, but I promise I'll be back. Please rest, Voyia. He's taking care of me. I feel so bad. I'm gonna cry. I open my mouth to protest, but before I can even form the words, Clive shuts the door behind him. And he's gone. Clive exhales sharply, the breath he's been holding in all along finally escaping. His hands tremble as he rubs his temple. Good. I miss your voice. Your beautiful eyes. I wish you'd only look at me like that. He shakes his head abruptly, the yearning in his expression hardening in determination. His jaw tightened. There's something he needs to deal with. Something unfinished. Uh-oh. ... Is this gonna go on its own too? No? Okay. I have to press the button. Okay. What is... Huff? I can't take it anymore. I just want to die. I just want to die. Slam. Slam. Another violent hit echoes as Silent throws his head against the wall again. You think slamming your head against the wall will kill you? He steps closer, his shadow looming over Silas. It won't. You don't deserve to die, Silas. Oh my God, look at him. You deserve to rot. To feel every ounce of pain you inflicted on everyone else. Death is too easy for someone like you. You've got a lot of courage, making all of that noise the moment you heard Voyia's voice. Did you think she'd help you? Voyia is so close to finding out what kind of human garbage you are. And I'll make sure you stick around long enough to face it all. You're insane, you know that? She'll never accept you, not after everything. What happens when her family gets in the way? You're gonna lock them up too? Let them rot cause you can't control your jealousy? Oh my God, he did the evil eye thing. That's something you do. I respect her boundaries unlike you. I'd never stoop to your level. Oh, Clive. Oh, Silas, you messed up. Silas, you 100% messed up. Woo. That is insanely crazy. I want to stop, but I don't want to stop. I want to keep going because this might be the end. This is just a demo, so I don't know how far this goes. Give me a second. I sit on my bed, staring at the ceiling, the events of today replaying in my head. No matter how hard I try to focus on tomorrow, my mind keeps wandering back to Clive. He's never been the type to leave early, especially when I'm upset. Tonight felt different. I mean, he's over there beating the crap out of Silas. Shift under the blankets, frowning. What is he doing right now? Is he okay? Why did he stay longer? I pulled the blankets around my shoulders, curling into it like it can shield me from the storm in my head. My fingers hover over my phone screen, an empty gesture more than anything. I don't even have his phone number anymore. The thought stings, a bitter reminder of the distance between us, even after everything. That broken phone from earlier, it had to be his. Did he even bother replacing it? I sigh, sinking deeper into the blankets. He said he'd see me tomorrow, and Clive always keeps his word, right? I closed my eyes for the first time in what felt like forever. I let myself imagine that maybe, just maybe, we can figure things out. As sleep pulls me under, I think of his shy smile, his words echoing in my mind. I'll always be by your side. Wow. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Deep words. Good ending. Thus we begin again. Well, very interesting. I need to go look something up. I need to see how many endings there are. So I'm gonna, maybe I'll make a part 2. I'll make a part 2 to this and get the bad endings if there's some bad endings. But if it's not any bad endings, thank you for vibing with me. Thank you for being here with me. I hope you had a fantastic time. I hope you enjoyed Clive and me and Silas and everybody else, Mia, Maya, whatever her name is. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. And with all that being said, peace and love. Stay safe out there, everybody. Bye.